Well, after Kenley Jansen nails down this Braves victory, we will have extended Braves live coverage of the Eastern Division Championship celebration. It's presented by Xfinity. The Braves live post-game show standing by. And the way Kenley Jansen is pitching right now, Peter, who better to get the final 3 outs in a one-run game on the road with all the marbles on the table?
Yeah, he's found something the last few games. The cutter is back. He's been able to throw the sinker as well, and he's gone to that slider whenever he needs to, but he's been really effective, especially against the Marlins. 27 games, a 1.29 ERA, and 17 of 18 save opportunities.
Kenley right now tied for 8th place all-time on the big league save list. He's tied with Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley. He's passed Troy Percival, Jeff Reardon, Jonathan Papelbon, and Joe Nathan in this year alone. Wow. So a remarkable year for Jansen. He will face Brian Anderson, Jacob Stallings, and Jordan Groshans in the 9th inning. The Braves have a 2-1 lead. Brian Anderson is 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch swing and pop foul out of play, strike 1. Jansen has 7 saves in his last 9 outings. He has rediscovered the magic, and he's gotten ahead of Anderson with the first pitch. That costs him another strike. It's 0-2. Strike 3. There's the first out of the 9th. Yep, we need 2 more.
Cutter, bottom of the zone, 3rd one of the at-bat. When Kenley's on with a cutter like this, it's a really tough assignment for right-handed hitters especially.
Jacob Stallings. He's 1 for 2. He gets ahead of him. And that, to me, Peter's the biggest difference over the last 3 weeks.
Strike 1 changes the whole at bat, and especially in the 9th inning. The last thing you want to do is give anybody in that dugout hope.
Strike 2.
Another cutter. Top of the zone. 6 straight. This is what has been the turnaround for him. When you have the confidence to throw that pitch anytime you want, your bread and butter, what's got you to this point, what's got you on the top 10 or in the top 10 of saves all time, that cutter, when it's working like this.
Jordan Groshans stands in the way of a division title. One more strike. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. Kenley Jansen was one pitch away from an immaculate ninth inning. He's still way ahead, 0-2. Just off the plate. One ball, two strikes. Braves at the top of the dugout, hoping to complete the most improbable of divisional comebacks. This team was 10.5 games out of first place. They can win the division with one more strike. Kenley's ready. And his 1-2 pitch. What an at-bat by this young 22-year-old Marlin against a future Hall of Fame closer, Kenley Jansen, with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the ninth. Fouled away. The duel continues.
All right, Jordan, you put in a good at bat. Now it's time to swing and miss.
Kenley started the inning with 8 straight strikes, then a foul ball from Groshans. It spoiled an immaculate inning. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here we go again. In the air right. Ronald is there, and the Braves have won the East.
What a performance. What a year. What a last 2 weeks. What a team. Look at the emotion. I mean, Jake Odorizzi came over the trade deadline, has had his ups and downs, put in a performance of the ages tonight.
This was a team that was 10.5 games out of first place. Brian Snitker called a meeting in Arizona. Wasn't a yelling, screaming, pointing fingers meeting. He said this team is much better than they've played. Let's just play smarter. We're playing hard enough. Let's play smarter. The team then took off on a 14-game win streak. They won 21 games in June, and they chased down the New York Mets, who once led this division with a $300 million payroll, by 10.5 games. Instead, it's the Braves under Brian Snitker who have won 5 consecutive Eastern Division titles, and they'll get some rest and set themselves up for their first-round matchup a week from today.
And that's the key. You've set yourself up. You've got 5 days off. Just an absolutely remarkable performance, and never lost sight of the end goal. Never gave up. Never at one point did you ever see anyone on that squad doubt themselves, doubt anyone else on that team. The confidence that everyone has in each other, it's just so fun to watch. It's so good to see, and we saw it all last year, and it's continued this year, which is so surprising and so hard to do.
There's so many men who've contributed to the Braves winning this division. Let's stick with the recent history and start with tonight, when the Braves needed a big start from Jake Odorizzi, who, let's be honest, had not pitched all that successfully since coming over from the Astros. This man, a veteran pitcher who's pitched in big games before, gave Atlanta 5 innings of 2-hit ball on a night where the Braves offense really struggled to get any traction. They had 14 men left on base, and Odorizzi, McHugh, Iglesias, Minter, and Kenley Jansen, as they've done all year long, made that stand up. Just remarkable.
The bullpen's just done it all year. It doesn't matter who you put out there. Every single person did their job. And for an extended period of time, we're not talking about a couple of weeks, Chip. We're talking about months on end that this bullpen, and really the whole pitching staff, has just figured it out and started dominating people.
And how about the kids? Vaughn Grissom, Spencer Strider, Michael Harris, who you saw in that shot just a moment ago. Their first full season in the major leagues. They're part of a 5th consecutive division winning team.
And it doesn't look like it's going to slow down. When you look at this core, we look at this group, the young guys coming through, this is going to be a good team for a long, long time.
So Rick Kranitz with a victory cigar in the center of the diamond. The Braves were able to trumpet their success over the New York Mets. And the celebration has begun on the artificial turf on the infield here at Lone Depot Park in Miami.
Look at the hugs. Look at the emotion. Look at the champagne.
And look at the relief on the faces of this Braves team. Not relief that they didn't think it could happen, but the enormity of what they just did. And so Kelly Kroll is with us tonight. Braves country celebrating behind the dugout. Kelly, I know the celebration is starting with Brian Snitker and his staff.
It sure is. Well, first of all, Snick, congratulations. 5 straight division titles for the Atlanta Braves. How does that sound and feel right about now?
Oh my God, this was like one of our typical just grind them out games too. I mean, you know, guys in the bullpen, boy, I'm so happy we can do this, so I can give all these guys some time off now, which is going to be awesome. But I'm so proud of this group. You know, where we were the 1st of June. Happy for the organization. Like I say, it takes that whole building to make this happen, and they're all special. This is unbelievable.
Speaking of special, on June 1st, you're sitting 10.5 games back. Tonight, you're standing here as division champs. How'd you do it, and how rewarding was the climb back to the top?
Man, very much so. I mean, these things are never easy. They're all special in their own right. We did it with that group behind me, because those guys, they're an amazing group. I said they're the battle-tested guys. You know, they never stop believing in themselves. Their work ethic, the consistency with which they come, with which they play, the coaching staff, how these guys, they take every day the same too. I mean, they're right there with them guys. You know, Alex just never stopped believing in us. I mean, continue to try and make this club better all the time. I'm just so proud of our organization because, like I say, it takes the whole building to do something special, and we just gave ourselves a chance to do something special again. Yeah, it's awesome.
I sense the emotion in your voice. I've seen the hugs between you I said I hear the emotion in your voice.
Yeah.
I've seen the hugs between you and your players. You talked about your first 20-game winner this year, first 100 wins in a season.
Yeah.
What do you think? I know there's more work to be done, but that you're going to remember the most?
God, you know, these years are, like I say, they're just so darn hard. And I'm going to remember this group of guys. I mean, these guys are special. They've been special. They'll continue to be special for me in my heart. It's just an unbelievable.
Go get in the picture. Go get in the picture.
How do I get in one of these?
You better get in one, guys.
Peter, a picture like that never gets old, does it?
He finally got him one. Snit finally got him one. Well-deserved. He said it, the emotion in his voice. Look at how the players react to Snit. That's a player's manager right there.
The Braves have won 100 games for the 9th time in team history, and they needed every single one of them to subdue the New York Mets in the division. That's the ball for the final out. And the Atlanta Braves will now get some rest and get ready for a Tuesday night showdown with either the Phillies or the St. Louis Cardinals as the interviews continue. Dansby Swanson, Kelly, what a year for him.
Unbelievable. And Dansby, we're going to make this quick so you can get in and celebrate. But a 5th straight division title for this team. You've been part of every single one of them. But this journey, what makes this one a little bit different, a little bit sweeter?
They're all amazing. I mean, they're all so unique in their own ways. This year, coming off of what we did last year, is really tough to do. Just because you kind of put a target on your back, and you feel like you get everyone's best shot every night. And you know, I feel like we were really, really resilient this year. This group, this team, we fought every night. Even when things weren't pretty early, we turned it on and haven't looked back since.
I'll leave it with this for right now on the field. But you just said it, Snit just says it. You now have given yourself a chance to do something very special. What will it take to run it back again this year, Dansby?
Great baseball. We have to continue to pitch the way we're doing. We got to continue to swing the bats, especially with people on base, which we weren't so great at tonight, myself included. But baseball is all about pitching. It's all about timely hitting and making plays behind your guys. So, yeah, it's a beautiful moment, and we're going to go enjoy every bit of it.
You better. I'll be in there in a second. Congrats, Dansby. Guys.
Great job, Kelly. And Dansby's exactly right. This was an incredibly resilient team, and they took off when these kids came up. But let's not forget, when Dansby Swanson moved to the 2nd spot in this lineup, he said at the end of May, his results at the plate were not up to his high standards. He took off, and so did Atlanta. And Kenley Jansen to Ronald Acuna Jr., who looks so joyful. His season came to an end last year in Miami. He's going to be a big part of what the Braves do in postseason play, which will start in Atlanta a week from tonight at Truist Park. Dansby Swanson and the Braves have won 5 consecutive division titles. Brian Snitker and his staff, such an amazing job. Resilient, tough, unrelenting. They chased down the New York Mets with an incredible 78-33 finish since June 1 to celebrate with that picture here at Lone Depot Park. Look at that. In the major leagues, best record, most runs, 2nd in homers, 3rd in starters ERA, and the bullpen, which you saw tonight, turning in 4 innings of 2-hit relief, the best in Major League Baseball. That is why the celebration is about to begin in the visitors clubhouse here in Miami, Florida. Atlanta beats the Marlins 2-1 your final score. Jake Odorizzi, and perhaps the biggest start of his career, picks up the win. Braxton Garrett, the loser, And Kenley Jansen moves into 8th all by himself on the all-time saves list with his 8th save in his last 10 outings with his 41st of the year. And Atlanta is the Eastern champs. Here's how we got here. Our plays of the year. This ball hammered center. Goodbye! First Atlanta homer for Matt Olson. He struck him out. Kenley Jansen comes home to Los Angeles, and another strikeout. That's a new career high for Kyle Wright. Dansby 360 through the first. Great play. Swing and a drive. He's going to get them all home. It's going to be a grand slam. Have a night, triple Stone. Lead off homer for Acuna. That ball is long gone.
5th career grand slam for Ozzie Albies.
Smoked and a diving catch it short. There's the first big league home run from Michael Harris.
Let's go.
A 2-homer day for Dansby Swanson. Field. Harris on the run. Lays out and makes a great catch. And he rifles that ball deep left center field. Long gone. Austin Riley has hit another home run. He is hotter than the Georgia asphalt. The Braves have won 14 straight games. Wall leaping tie. He got it. What a grab by Ronald at the wall. Swing, high fly ball, deep left field. Vaughn Grissom has homered over the monster. Harris going back, warning track wall, leaping tie. He got it. Majestic homer on top of the chop house. Swing and a miss. And Charlie Morton has a dozen strikeouts. On the ground, that's going to sneak into center field. Here comes the throw toward the plate. Save! Bouncing ball right side, and Travis D'Arnaud comes off the bench for a comeback Braves win against the Astros. Sweet 16 for Spencer Strider and a new Atlanta record. Swing and a miss. 9 up, 9 down for Max Fried. He's off to a great start.
Snagged out of the air by Dansby. And that ends the ball game.
Ronald coming on, dives, and he got it.
Wow, doing it all, kid.
Fly ball well hit left field. The Braves are back in front. Long run Dansby, slowing, leaning, and he's got it. What a play by Swanson. History tonight for Bryce Elder. Pitching the first complete game this year for the Braves. Dansby Swanson, 3rd straight game against the Mets with a homer.
Going back, Acuna is there. He's got it! And the Braves have swept the Mets. You come at the Kings, you better not miss.
In the air right. Ronald is there, and the Braves have won the East.
$22 divisional titles in franchise history, the most by any franchise in the major leagues. You saw the side-by-side there, the champagne already flowing in that visitors clubhouse down there at Lone Depot Park. It is a celebration to be had by all. Your Atlanta Braves are NL East champions. It's a beautiful thing to just be able to say after they prevent themselves from being swept at any point this year. Trevor Scales, Nick Green, and Brian Jordan are back here with you in Atlanta. Just jealous of the celebrations at large, but appreciating it nonetheless. Fellas, it was one of those grinded out games like Brian Snitker said. You gotta have those, and it's good for the soul if you got a little drama to get this type of result, baby.
Is that true?
Yeah, I'm rolling with it.
I'm ready to have a heart attack tonight. But no, man, it was just great to see it. And he's right. You know, these are the type of games you have to grind out. You know, the Mets got off to a great start. They won the first game. They went up 7-0 in the first inning. So you control your own destiny. It was a hard-fought game. You got to give it up to Odorizzi coming through huge. And I said, if he comes through this game, forget about all those bad starts he had.
It's gone.
He is the hero today, and he deserves it. And this team deserves it. I mean, hits were hard to come by, but these guys grinded out those 2 runs. And this bullpen, what can you say about this bullpen, Nick?
I mean, the way this team's come together as a whole,
Everybody's contributed in different ways. You look at all the guys that aren't here right now that have contributed in different ways. It's just been fun to watch because you play 162 games. You can't rely on the 26 guys that leave spring training around that team. You have to have so many other guys. You have to have so many things go your way. Today's game was a grinder of a game. They've had those clunkers where they stunk. They've had the games where they've just out-blasted everybody, right? Yeah. And it's all about wins. That's what it's all about at this level. To see what they did in the first 50 games and what they did in the last 111 has been incredible. The best team in baseball since June 1st. I'm so proud of Brian Snitker, so proud of these guys and the resiliency they've shown.
It's just remarkable to know how well this Braves team played, knowing how good the Mets were playing as well, right alongside them. But look, we got plenty more as far as the celebration goes. Everybody you will hear from as far as within that clubhouse and outside of it, beginning with Kevin Seitzer, he was with Kelly Kroll.
Walk me through.
This is what it's all about right here, being able to do this. Holy cow. These guys, man, they fought. Our bullpen, can't say enough about our pitching. Holy cow. What an unbelievable finish to this season.
What do you think changed right around June 1st for this team?
You know, honestly, I mean, our pitching was really doing good, but we weren't doing good offensively. And I feel like we got hot as a team. I mean, we were just spitting and sputtering the whole first few months of the season, first 2 months anyway. And then we got going, and we started piling on runs and giving our pitchers some breathing room for a change. It was awesome.
If you had to point to one of your guys, or even I'm going to start with one, Matt Olson came over here and kind of had to reinvent himself and start over and fill some shoes that were big shoes to fill. Yeah. What can you say about the season he's had and what he meant to this group?
Yeah, I can't say enough great things about Matty. I mean, he's first class. He's freaking pro. Works hard. Great teammate. Just a stud presence to have in the lineup. And he didn't get it going the way he wanted to the whole season, but when you look at the numbers of production, he was just a huge impact for us.
Hold that bottle up for me one more time and tell me how great this celebration's going to be.
This is unbelievable. Yeah!
Oh, hell, you set yourself up for that one, dog. Oh, he's just waiting on that moment as we have been long awaiting this champion run as far as the NL East goes, fellas. Again, watching this team grind the way that they did since June 1, as Seitzer just spoke to. Nick, having different people step up at so many different times, given injuries, given slumps, that's what makes this team so impressive to watch.
And that's why I like the fact they play 162 games. I know people want to cut this season short. You cut this season short to 140, 145, they don't win the East. It's a grind throughout the course of the season. Yes, there are going to be some struggles, and we know some guys that struggle at times, but you have to have other guys step up in big ways. The Braves' depth, BJ, has been so good since Alex Anthopoulos has been here. Yeah. One guy goes down, one guy slumps, other guys continue to pick them up.
And you got to give Alex Anthopoulos so much credit because, you know, he's building that farm system. These guys are prepared and ready to play at the big league level when they need them. And we talk about unsung heroes this year. Michael Harris comes up and changes this whole lineup. They go on a tear of victories when he came up. Great defense, shored up that middle of the infield and outfield. And then all of a sudden, a young man named Grissom comes up when the team was slumping a little bit, and he injected the energy. We got a lot of young guys that really became pros right away. So you give Anthopoulos a lot of credit. The trades that he made, Iglesias was so huge when he got here to be that show-up guy in the 7th and the 8th inning.
Without a doubt. There's just so many different gentlemen that you could look to, and you speak about the young guys. They are led by a group of veterans in there that have been down this road before, one of which is Austin Riley, who Peter Moylan got a chance to catch up with ahead of the celebrations.
What's that? Whatever you want. This is your show. I'm just here. Talk to me, man. You've had a year for the ages. You've been one of the most consistent hitters in the big leagues all year. What an amazing year for this team. How are you feeling right now?
Amazing. You know, this is like Snit said, you know, when you go into spring, this is what you want. This is the #1 goal you're trying to do. Check off the list. This fight that this team has, you know, you just can't say enough. You know, I feel like I got a few gray hairs on some games. You know, like I said, it's just the ebbs and flows. I've always said, you know, you can't look ahead. You got to take it day by day, and we did that. And you know, we're at the top of our division. So.
This team's ability to adjust and just get punched in the face, basically, and turn it around and come back. What is the biggest difference in this team?
Just the heart, the fight, the guys in this clubhouse. They come in and play for each other. It's not an I team whatsoever. You know, I feel like, you know, no matter if anybody goes over 4 for 4, as long as we win a ball game, that's all that matters, and that's all we were trying to do this year. And hopefully this is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning. Go and enjoy it, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, there's a lot to enjoy about the season for Austin Riley, who leads the National League in extra base hits, 3rd in homers. He is going to get a lot of MVP votes for the Atlanta Braves. And of course, for Austin Riley, what a year. Already won World's Championship, a new baby, long-term contract, and back in postseason play for the Atlanta Braves. Kenley Jansen saved this game. He's now 8th all-time in saves. And Kelly Kroll, Kenley Jansen over the last 2 weeks has turned his fortunes and the Braves' fortunes around in the 9th inning.
Kenley, you could have done it shirtless had you wanted to. You do know that that's allowed in these celebrations, right?
Yeah, hey, it feel good. You know, I want to go shirtless this year. It feel good. You know, it feel good. It never gets old. 10 in a row for me, never get old. You know, I'm proud of all of us here. We battled. We had a slow start, and we proved why they are and we are world champions. So we're going to defend our title, and we're going to go for it.
You say 10 in a row, but you came over here for a reason. What has this season meant to you and to be celebrating tonight with this group?
As a complete team, you know, I love this team, you know, and like I say, they play hard, and we're going to continue to play hard. We went through a lot this year, and we're going to have tough teams out there. We're going to have tough teams that we have to face, and we're going to go for the battle.
What makes the bullpen, this one and the group that you battled with all season long, so special?
Because it's a lot of ups and downs. We deal with a lot of adversity in the beginning, in the middle, at the end, and we stay with it. We stick with it, and that's how, you know, you have that potential to win a championship. So, you know, face the adversity, battle through it, get over it, and here we are now, celebrate the 5th division title.
I know there's still a lot of work in front of you, but to get to the ultimate goal once again, what will it take?
One game at a time, one inning at a time, one at bat at a time, one pitch at a time.
I love it. One bottle at a time tonight, okay?
One bottle, yes, thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Kelly. 8 saves in his last 10 appearances for Kenley Jansen, and he's the man that saved the victory for Jake Odorizzi. What's the old saying in baseball? Not how you start, but how you finish. Jake Odorizzi pitched the biggest game of the year and won it for the Braves, and he's standing by with Peter Moylan.
Here with Jake Odorizzi. Jake, unbelievable performance coming up in the clutch. What was going through your head at the start of this game, and how do you feel right now?
That it was going to be a playoff game for me. I mean, this was a win, must-win game, so I've been fortunate to pitch in some big games in my career and just took that same mentality into this one to attack. You know, I know it's been tough for me since I've been here, so personally, this is a great feeling to pitch well on a night that we needed it, and to celebrate with the boys makes it even more special. So really happy that, you know, we were able to hold on and win this thing, and now we take the next step.
Tell me, what have you noticed? You came over, obviously. What have you noticed about this team that's different?
The resiliency. I mean, we expect to win every day, showing up, and there's nothing that beats this right here, but the way we've been able to persevere. I mean, we were down for a while when I first got here, and then we were able to run down the Mets and win the game tonight, so this is a really special team. I lost to them last year. Now it's really great to be on the winning side, so it's a special group. I'm really happy to be here and just enjoying, you know, my time in Braves country.
I speak for all of Braves country. We thank you. What an unbelievable job. Go and enjoy this, man.
Thank you. Save the best for last, I guess, right? Thank you. Thanks, Pete.
Jake Odorizzi, tonight's winning pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, who welcomed the pride of Parkview High School back home. Matt Olson, very big shoes to fill, and he filled them at first base for the Braves. 33 homers, 101 RBIs on the season, and his first year with the Braves, he's a division champion, and he's standing by with Kelly.
You came over to your hometown team, and now you are celebrating what is a 5th straight division title. What are the emotions like for you tonight?
You know, this is what you set out to do every year, and be able to do it with these guys, get in this clubhouse, get to know them, know obviously the players that are out there. I'm so happy to be a part of it. Glad we got this done.
Last year, what's it been like playing with him this season?
It's been awesome. One of the most talented players in all of baseball. Get a front row seat out every day.
Do you need to join in?
Huh?
Do you need to join in?
I think I do.
Thank you, guys.
Just gotta roll with it, Killer. Just roll with it. It's a celebration being had by all, and we are here to take you through it here on Bally Sports. Trevor Scales, Nick Green, and Brian Jordan. Just again, we're basking in the glory of it all, just like those fellas are, because this is hard-earned. You see a guy like Matt Olson, who had, as Peter and everybody has said here, ups and downs, but that's especially in his first season. Seeing him able to come through, BJ, it is just unbelievable to be able to celebrate this success for him on the back end. In any case, we're going to continue here. We get a chance to welcome in the man who helped engineer now 5 divisional titles in the 5 years that he's been with the Atlanta Braves. That is the general manager, Alex Anthopoulos. We appreciate you joining us here on Bally Sports. Alex, Trevor Scales, Nick Green, and Brian Jordan are here with the opportunity to speak with you. And again, 5 divisional titles in the 5 years that you've been here, Alex. How does it feel, one, to be able to accomplish something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about it. Like, am I relieved? I'm excited. I'd say relief. You know, it's just, man, you know, the fans are showing out. 3.1 million fans. Ballpark's packed. Batteries packed. People living and dying with this team, tuning into you guys day in and day out, and you feel the pressure to put a product out on the field. So to do it, to win the division 5 in a row, man, Snit, the players, the coaches, you know, Terry McGurk, who supports me all the time, never panics, never gets like, especially when things aren't going well. I mean, I cannot say enough about it. So, you know, I was in there. Obviously, guys are spraying champagne, and I just, you know, rather than being really in the middle of it, I just wanted to sit back and watch and see these guys celebrate, especially the guys that hadn't experienced it before.
Alex, Nick Green, the first 50 games, you guys are 23 and 27. The last 111, 78 and 33. What is it about this coaching staff that keeps these guys so calm and so confident through the tough times?
You know what? This is such a, you know, obviously, look, there's every coaching staff in baseball has knowledge and content, and they're great, right? These guys are former players and so on. These guys connect. They have charisma. They know how to get with players. They know how to manage the ups and downs. They're real. They're real, you know, they're just real, meaning they're genuine, authentic guys. And they got some swag to them, and they'll jump you if they need to jump you. And, I mean, it's as good a staff as I've ever been around. And I think we work great with them, you know, from a GM standpoint to the front office and everybody else. I mean, 5 years in a row, and we mesh and we gel the same way, you know, you want the players to gel and mesh. I feel good about the front office and the coaching staff, the way we're together and we mesh and we gel, and that's definitely a huge part of our success.
Alex, Brian Jordan, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great, man. I was hoping for some yayas tonight.
I was hoping too. I was right with you. But hey, you know,
praying for some yayas. Praying.
Hey, but you know, you look at the start of the season, and you talk about pressure. You know, you had to make the big decision to bring a young kid up, Michael Harris II. You know, how tough was that when you knew he only played in a small amount of games at AA? How much pressure on you to make that move? Did you expect him to come up and be so successful right away?
No, I mean, we talked about it at length, and, you know, we talked about it as a staff, Snit, the coaches, Ben Sestanovich, and the player development group. You know, I was calling him all the time and having them call down to the player development guys, how do you think he can handle it and stomach it, and so on. I had Dana Brown in my ear sending me gifts about it's time, you better call him up, it's time. So, you know, it was one of those things that, and I went to scout him myself. I had never, it's my 11th season as a GM, I've never, I don't believe, have called up a player from that level before, a position player. And, we knew the defense was going to show up, but from an offensive standpoint, if you would have told me in spring training, we're going to give this guy $72 million, he's going to be a stud, playing great defense, I would have said, yeah, the defensive side, but the offensive side has been incredible. And there's no doubt he just solidified things. And all of the guys that came up at various times and came through for us. So it's a great job by player development to get him ready. I mean, there's so much time spent with those coaches and the staff day in and day out that he could come up here and not only survive but thrive.
Alex, Trevor here. Along those lines, between all the additions from the young cats that stepped up and showed out and any trade acquisitions that you've brought in, it just feels like, as you can see from the side-by-side that we have here of you, everybody just gels so well within that clubhouse. How do you continue to make sure that that box is checked alongside the production that each one of these cats brings?
Yeah, that's really important to me. And look, obviously, I want to win, no doubt about it. We all do. But, this might sound corny, but I want to win the right way. And I mean that in terms of with the right group of guys, and I've done it before as a young GM. You walk down to that clubhouse and you don't really love the group, and guys walking down the hall, you're looking left, right, I'm like, can I get out of this conversation somehow? And this clubhouse, I'm excited. And it's been that way. I learned, I made some mistakes, a lot of mistakes as a young GM. And the turning point for me was really committing to a certain type of guy and making sure that the team fits and not just collecting players, but collecting, players that fit into a team and a team mindset. And it's just quality of life for the coaches, for the staff, for everybody else. And I do believe that the fans, it comes out on the field too, and they see it and they fall in love with this team. Because we represent the city, we represent Atlanta, we represent the South. It means something to a lot of people. And you want everybody to be proud. Obviously, you want to win, but I think pride in the group you have, the people you have, the way they go about it, the love they have for this place and the city and so on. We're trying to make this the best place in sports to be. The fans, the battery, everybody. I definitely feel like we're on our way with all the support that we have.
Alex, you talk about the guys that have fit in really well. Well, one guy that's fit in unbelievably well is Raisel Iglesias. He's been ridiculous. I said at the trade deadline, I don't know if you heard me or not, but I thought the biggest need for you guys was a right-handed power arm. Well, you go out and get one of the best right-handed power arms in the game. Was he one of your main targets? How important was that need for you?
Yeah, if you can get an elite reliever, you want to do that, especially, look, we saw what it meant last year. And, at the trade deadline, we have a small group that gets together actually in my office of whiteboards all over the place. And we actually mapped out what we call the circle of trust for the playoffs. And it's based on how guys were throwing at that time. And we looked at it, and we looked at the group, and we had a few guys up top and then a line and then the remaining group. And we were short a guy. And it just felt critically important. You get to the postseason, we felt good about our chances to get in, but come playoff time, you're going to need those guys in the pen. You need those arms. He's a guy that we actually went after in the offseason a bit. We talked to him, we talked to Jansen as well, and I'm talking, this is in the month of November. So we had conversations, and we had our eye on him for a while. But look, obviously he signed back with Anaheim, and it didn't work out for us. But when he became available late, and it was really late. It was last minute. We had just signed Austin Riley, and I was late. We were going to have that announced, and I was late to get down for that because that deal came in at the last minute. So, Terry McGurk deserves a ton of credit. He has a big contract, but he's a stud. He's a great reliever, and, Terry giving me the resources to go out and get him and get a guy like that. And the fans, I've said this 2 years in a row, the response has been incredible. They just shatter every time they project attendance for Truist. They just do better and better, and that gives us more money to work with to go out and sign players and keep players and so on. So I'm grateful. We all are. I know the players certainly are, and we're able to get guys like that.
Alex, this is the last question. This is the $100 million question right here. Albies.
You're probably going to be light.
Albies and Strider. Now that we won the National League East Championship, hey, do we or are they going to be ready to play in that first game?
So, Strider I talked to today. So we actually, after the Mets series, all the IL guys went up to them at the end of the game and said, look, we had a chance to clinch on Monday. We want you guys to be there. We want you guys to experience it. So we chartered a plane for them. So Duvall, Fried wasn't feeling well, so he was going to stay back in Atlanta for a little bit. Duvall, Jackson, Yates, Strider, Albies, probably forgetting someone and some staff and so on, and we brought them all down because we wanted them to experience it. So I talked to Strider today. He actually played catch today, and he felt really good. And he's going to go to 90 feet the next time. And I was just asking him, what do you think? Obviously, we're not going to put him at risk at all, but he feels like, you know, if we win this division, he thought there's a very strong scenario he could be ready for the CS at some point. So I'm not trying to send Twitter crazy or the internet crazy on it, but I asked our trainer after. I'm like, you think that's just a young guy wanting to pitch, or you think it's realistic? And he said, I think he certainly has a chance. So he's going to continue to need to pass some of those tests, but I think the CS is certainly going to be in play for him, depending on how things go. For Albies, I don't know yet. I mean, I think once we get to the end of the week here, we'll know a little bit more. My guess is, I'm sorry, for the DS. My guess is, I think Albies a little further behind because he hasn't started hitting and things like that. So I think Albies would be a long shot for the DS. I think Strider's certainly got a shot.
Alex, we appreciate the time, the candor, the insight, all of it. And of course, 5 straight divisional championships is not going to hurt either. We appreciate it again, as always, man. Congratulations. I look forward to hearing from you soon.
All right, guys, appreciate it. I watch you guys a lot during the season when I'm not on the road. And I know you guys are there late, day in and day out. And I know this means a lot to you guys as well. And hopefully we can do this for a month more.
I was getting ready to say we appreciate the product that you put out there, man. Yes, absolutely.
All right, man.
Be well now.
Seeing you guys.
Trevor Scales, Nick Green, and Brian Jordan back here with you in Atlanta, continuing the celebrations. Look, this is an impactful infield, to say the least. A group of guys, I should say, that has come through offensively. Of course, you see all the rankings there, top 2 and not 2 in a couple of those categories. Beyond that, though, they play a great brand of defense to go along with that. In any case, we're going to continue on here with the celebration. We have Kelly Crow with Michael Harris, the second, celebrating after the young rookie makes his first appearance on the big stage with the divisional title.
Well, hello, fans. Okay, to the fans at home over here, Michael. All right. Your first opportunity to get to do something like this. How's it living up to the dream so far?
I mean, it's outlived it. I mean, I can't say any words. I mean, I'm just enjoying the moment right now, and then it's just the beginning of everything. So just gonna enjoy the moment now, and then, I mean, the rest is history.
What has, since the moment you stepped up and got your call up, what has the journey been like for you to be standing here tonight? You mentioned a year ago chanting MVP with Austin Riley, and now you're popping bottles with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun year. It's been very eventful. I've been with these guys spring training the last 2 years, so I got to know them a good bit. And it's just a fun group, as you see. I mean, I don't know how long this usually goes on, but I don't know how much more I can take. I don't drink alcohol, so it burns my eyes and my mouth. So I think I'm about to quit this in about 5 minutes, but I'm gonna enjoy it for right now. Hey!
You're supposed to enjoy the burn, okay?
Yeah.
Go enjoy it.
All right.
Well, Michael Harris certainly burned the National League when he came up at the end of May, and is probably the Rookie of the Year in the National League. Look at that, a 4.7 WAR in his rookie season. Vaughn Grissom hit .290, filled in so capably for Orlando Arcia and the injured Ozzie Albies. You know about Spencer Strider, 200-plus strikeouts in about 135 innings. Dylan Lee and Bryce Elder, such big innings in the bullpen and in rotation. So yes, like the 2005 Baby Braves team, this 2022 Atlanta season was certainly aided by those 5 tremendous first-year players. And speaking of rookies, Vaughn Grissom is standing by down in the Braves celebration.
Vaughn, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Describe this. What is this whole moment like for you, and the ride that has been what it has been since Boston?
It's been a dream, obviously. Like, just looking at these guys, they're having the time of their life. Just right now, getting able to watch it is just incredible, and be a part of it is even more special. It's incredible.
Have you figured out the key to this whole celebrating thing? I mean, you've got one waiting right here, but you're gonna wait till the end. You're gonna wait. What makes this group so special?
Yeah, we're just all gelled together. They've obviously been here before, so they do it. They treat it like that too. They've been here. They know what to do. They know the atmosphere. It's just it's incredible. I don't know what they do.
What are you learning right now, other than how to pop champagne, but along this journey?
Just the way they go about their business, and how it, they start from day one, from spring training on here out. They never stop fighting. They never stop believing in themselves when people count them out, and they've been doing tremendous.
You know who's not going to be talking talked about probably enough tonight is the coaching staff.
Yeah.
What would you say about the job they've done to enable you guys to be at your best day in and day out?
They're the drivers. You know, they have everything to do with it. Just the lineups they put together, the matchups, just everything. Wash, you know, EY, they do everything, man. Snit, they'll make the right moves, man. At the end of the day, we're here for a reason.
Would you say doing this with Michael? There he is. Okay, boys. Here are the troublemakers. What's it been like, Michael, to have T-shirts named after you? He says he doesn't drink alcohol and all that, so he gave himself a time limit.
No, that's good. Wait till he's 40, now he's retired. He'll be all right.
Von, what would your question to Michael be here tonight? I can't see. Give him the mic.
How is it? How's it feel?
You feel it? What do you mean? How does it feel?
It's like that. It's undescribable.
AJ, we've been through a lot together, obviously. Tell me how you're feeling right now.
Words can't describe it. This is what you play for. You can see this team, what we overaccomplished this year was, I think this is probably my favorite one so far that we've accomplished together as a team, what we have overcome, and it's just the standard here. We expect to win in the division, and I'm so happy for the guys.
10.5 games, man. 10.5 games you guys are back. You needed to sweep the Mets. You guys did that. Talk to me about this group especially. What's different about this group?
I mean, for the past few years, it's just been love. I mean, and that's what it's been carried over. Tastes good.
A whole lot of love. We can see it. Everyone can see it.
It's a different team. It's a whole different team than last year, the past few years. But the same thing that it keeps happening every year is the camaraderie between all the guys. That's one thing that hasn't changed.
You need to go and enjoy this.
Let's keep it going. I appreciate it.
Hi, Luke.
Travis, congratulations.
Thank you.
A fifth straight division title for this squad. What allowed it to happen?
A bunch of guys pulling on the same side of the rope. Since day one, we've all loved each other and made fun of each other, like I've been saying the whole time. And, you know, at game 161, we finished it and won the East.
What do you think will be the most memorable part of this for you? When you consider the seasons both you and William have had, you think about all the pitchers you've guided through, some of these young guys to success, like 21 wins for Kyle Wright. What part do you think you'll step back and be most proud of?
Just to help them grow as pitchers and human beings, and to be there at the younger part or the later part of their career, like with Charlie. And I've just been blessed with great people who love working with the catchers, and me and Willie get along so great, and I'm so thankful that I had an opportunity to be with him this year. And Eddie tells us all the time, him and Javi had 40 together. Eddie had 0 and Javi had 40, so me and Willie still have a couple more things to do tomorrow, but it's been fun, and I'm so thankful to be a part of it.
Has it been more gratifying, given where you guys were June 1st, to pull it off like this on game 161?
Yeah, it definitely is. That meeting that Sid had in Arizona, I think, brought us all closer together, and we went on that 14-run streak, and we haven't turned back since. And to do it on today, game 161, with only one game left, it's pretty memorable. I've never been a part of anything like this, so it's pretty cool.
Last thing, how will you run it back again this year?
Just take it pitch by pitch, try to win every series, and not look any further ahead than that, and that's how good things happen.
All right, smoke that. Let me see.
All right.
Thank you.
Talk to me, man. How you feeling right now?
Unbelievable. This is surreal. What a great group of guys. I mean, competed all year. It's unbelievable, man. It's a celebration like no other.
It seems to be a theme of everyone that I've asked the question, that this feels more like a family than a baseball team.
Oh, it 100% is. 100%. We all care for each other. We want to pick each other up. We bounce back together. We win together. It's great.
What's your biggest takeaway from this year? You personally, what's your biggest takeaway from this year?
I don't even know. It's kind of surreal. The position I was in a year ago, I mean, to be on a Division East, NL East champs, and be on this team, and it's unreal. I can't even put it into words.
Go and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I'm about to.
I figured you would.
Roll Tide, too, baby.
Ronald, you didn't really get to do this last season. How good is it feeling right about now to be part of this?
Que lo pudiste gozar el año pasado, cuánto lo bueno que se siente poder gozarlo ahora con tu equipo.
Me estoy mareando. Tú me traducís que me agarro los pelazos. Dale. José Reyes está activo. ¡No! ¡No, marico! ¡Ven acá, marico!
So to be part of this season, how good does this feel?
Lo bueno de poder ser parte de esta temporada.
Mira, me siento bastante contento de formar parte de esta organización. El año pasado no estuve, pero me siento contento de volver a ganar la división.
I'm just really happy to be able to be a part of this moment, be a part of this organization, and I was really able to contribute to having the division this year.
Your teammate William Contreras over here. What does he mean to this squad this season?
¿Qué ha significado Contreras para nuestro equipo este año?
Mira, mucho, ¿verdad? Significa mucho. Él como tanto, todos los que estamos aquí significa mucho. Por eso estamos aquí, nunca nos enfocamos, siempre trabajamos fuerte y este es el resultado.
A lot. He means a lot. And just like everybody else who's on this team, he's here for a reason, to contribute, to do the things that he does. And, that's the good thing about this team. We're always here we're focused and we're going to work hard.
When you knew this team was 10.5 games back on June 1st, how are you standing here tonight popping champagne?
Sí, cuéntanos, la emoción de saber que el 1 de junio estuvimos atrás de los Mets por 10 juegos y ahora estamos celebrando esta noche aquí la división.
Mira, de verdad, nosotros nunca nos desenfocamos, faltaba mucho camino por recorrer, muchos juegos por jugar. Siempre estuvimos enfocados en ese resultado, estuvimos siempre enfocados y aquí está el resultado.
We just never lost our focus. We knew there were a lot of games left to be played. There was a lot of season left, so we never lost our focus, and you see the result now tonight.
What's it going to take to get all the way back to the top of the mountain once again?
¿Qué vamos a tener que hacer para poder llegar otra vez y ganar otra serie mundial?
Nada, seguí enfocado y salí a jugar todos los días con la misma energía, salí a jugar el juego que nosotros jugamos y eso fue lo que nos llevó el año pasado a la serie mundial.
Stay focused, keep working hard, play our game. That's what took us to the World Series last year.
You having fun?
Yeah, always.
Enjoy the celebration. Thank you, Ronald. Thank you, Franco.
Okay, I'm going to go straight team, all right? You've been on a lot of teams. What is it about this team that makes you think they can go all the way?
Just a bunch of winners. Dude, it's just a bunch of winners. It's like it starts with Snit, it goes all the way down. And every guy in the lineup just wants to win more than they want to do anything else. And that's how you get here. That's how you win 100 games. That's how you get here. That's how you win the whole thing, man.
AJ said there's a whole lot of love, which was the theme of last year, and it seems to carry over this year. Everybody genuinely loves each other in this clubhouse, and you can see it.
It's amazing. You're right. I've been on a lot of good teams, and this is special. This is different.
You personally signed here, start of the year. Obviously don't know what to expect. Had a rough patch early on, but turned it around unbelievably. What's the difference?
Honestly, leaning on the guys here who picked me up. We've got a really deep bullpen. Our starting staff has been unbelievable this year, and they give you a little bit more margin to be not great for a second. And everybody goes through a little bit of rough patch, but when we've all put it together at the right time, you can see what this team is capable of. And it's like I said, this is different. This is special.
It's beautiful. Go and enjoy this, man.
Every time, never gets old.
That pretty much sums it up as we welcome you to the broadcast booth upstairs here at Lone Depot Park. Chip Carey, Derek Schiller, Braves president. Congratulations. Never gets old.
Thank you. You the same.
5 in a row.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I mean, obviously you can sense that. Can you sense that from the clubhouse?
Yeah, I think they're having a good time. This team was 10.5 games back. It's very difficult to repeat as a World Series champion. We know that. It's been over 2 decades since it's happened in Major League Baseball. But to repeat as a division champion, that was also an incredible accomplishment for this team, knowing how improved the division was. You fought down a terrific adversary in the New York Mets, and it took all of 101 wins to get it done.
And 161 games, I think, right?
Yes, exactly.
I don't think we wanted it to go this far, per se, but at the same time, it's incredible. I mean, obviously, the achievement of this team, and each team, as you were hearing from a bunch of those interviews, each team has its own personality, its own chemistry associated with it. And, it's really incredible to see this team gel over the course of this 6 months. They've played incredible baseball, and, our fans have reacted.
Right.
They've loved every minute of this. It's been exciting. It's been tense. I may have lost a few pounds here on this one. This one was really tense, but we got it done, and that's what matters. And it's an incredible achievement for those guys in that clubhouse, and Coach Snicker and the whole clubhouse staff.
Ownership, front office, management staff. All of those things played a big role. Look, all the credit goes to the players. They're the ones that had to get it done. But I think Brian said on the field, this is really another organizational win for this franchise because, look, as we said, 10.5 back. The New York Mets have that big lead, big payroll, all of that stuff. The Braves found a way with their player development staff, with their major league coaching staff, and ultimately the resources to get done what needed to be done, Derek, at the trading deadline.
Yeah, look, there are teams that, in some ways, I wouldn't say cruise to divisions, but have an easy road, an easy path. You sort of predict them and you see their achievements during the course of a year, and they're sort of consistent in that regard. This team, obviously 101 team, has been every bit of excellent, but to your point, we've been trailing the Mets for most of the season here. This past weekend was just incredible. It was something that I wouldn't say it's unexpected, but it was something that I think all of our fans played a part in making that happen. And so it just I think it makes the achievement of that much sweeter, that much better for everybody who follows this team. They understand that you come back, you play in Atlanta, you play those 3 really pivotal games in Atlanta, and what the crowds mean to our team, to our clubhouse. If you got onto social media, you started to hear some of the Mets players as they were leaving and manager, and they were reflecting on that. It was a tough environment to play in, and we had a little bit of a letdown game last night, but we got it done tonight, and that's all that counts. And I heard some stat that there was something like only about a half dozen teams in the history of baseball that have won the World Series like we did, and then come back and won 100 games. Right. And so, we're an elite company with that alone, but those division championships put yourself in a position to do really well into this offseason and gives our guys a few days off, which is much needed, especially after the celebrations tonight, which are probably going to go for a little while. And, it's everybody here that's part of this organization. I know there's a bunch of people that are back in Atlanta partying away in the Terrapin Tap Room. We thank every member of this organization that's part of this whole thing, because I think Snicker got he got interviewed about that. It's one of the mantras of this organization. Everybody works together. Right. Every single member of this organization works together, and that means not only the guys on the field, but everybody that's off the field too. We all understand our role. We all understand our job, our mission. And we're one step closer to achieving that goal and that mission.
Your team has now won the division 5 times. As far as satisfaction goes, where does this one rank?
Geez, I mean, if you ask me tonight, right here, again, I was, had a chance to be down in that clubhouse, and it was weird because we were talking about how the anxiety of tonight actually felt a little bit like the World Series. I hate to say it like that because, it's not quite that, but, this one ranks really high, and I think part of it is because of how high the standard is now for our organization. When you win the World Series, rightfully so, there's an expectation that's put on you. And we're, we want to try to achieve that expectation. And so, this helps us get there. And I don't know that I would put it in any particular order other than just to say, look here, right now, right at this moment in time, this feels pretty darn good.
Wouldn't trade places with any team in any part of Major League Baseball with what the Braves did tonight. My last question for you is, what do you have planned for us on Tuesday?
Well, obviously, we don't yet know who we're playing.
Right.
So we got to figure that out. But I think for those that were with us during the postseason run from last year, they saw what postseason baseball was for Atlanta Braves, and specifically in Truist Park and the Battery. And, we've learned a lot. Now that we've gone through a full cycle of that and gone all the way, we've learned, we've applied some of those lessons. We've had a bunch of meetings in our organization to try to figure out, if given the opportunity again, which now we're gonna go on that, what can we do to make our fans feel that much better when they come to the ballpark, that much more welcome, and the excitement, if you can believe it, maybe turned up just another notch.
Sweet.
So I think it's going to be an incredible environment. You know, we've got huge crowds. We've had 42 sellouts this year. We achieved 3.1 million fans that have come through our gates during the regular season. And for those that are lucky enough to have those postseason tickets, they're in for a treat, man.
I got to tell you, being at the Battery for our postseason coverage, which will continue here on Bally Sports after every Braves game, it was almost as electric as being in the ballpark for the Mets series. So I know our fans won't want to miss that. Derek, congratulations. It starts at the top. We're grateful to you for all of your support on Bally Sports. And let's keep this train rolling. Let's get it going on Tuesday.
I agree. We appreciate you guys, you know, everybody who's been part of bringing the Braves broadcast to our fans. You know, it's an extension of our team, and we thank you very much for that. And we're not done yet.
Let's go. Let's go enjoy some champagne. I'll be down there in a little bit.
Let's do it.
Braves President Derek Schiller, 5 straight division champions, and hopefully a back-to-back World Series here in 2022. Let's go back to the celebration downstairs and join Peter Moylan with Bryce Elder, who pitched some big games down the stretch for the Braves, too.
The Troublemakers and Bryce. How are we feeling right now? Is this pretty good? This is a pretty good feeling?
A very good feeling I've been a part of personally. Best moment I've been a part of, man. This is it. This is it.
Where you've come from 2 months ago, where you are right now. How you feeling?
Incredible. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I still can't believe it. Everything going on right now is just a dream, man. It's crazy.
Well, every single one of you guys had an impact at some point throughout this year to help this team win. So, Michael, you've come up and you've basically dominated from the minute you got up here. What better feeling is there than this right here?
There is none. I mean, I've been dreaming about this as a kid, and then to do it with the Braves is just even better. So, I mean, I'm enjoying the moment right now. Glad to be here with these guys. I know we all didn't expect to be up here at the same time, if not even up here by ourselves at this point. But, I mean, we're just all taking in the moment, and we're just playing the game we love.
That's what makes this so special, too. You guys weren't expected to be part of this, but you come and made such a big impact. Every single one of them in Braves country thanks you for that, and we can't wait to see what you guys are going to do next, man. Let's enjoy this.
All right, thank you, sir.
Enjoy every second. Go enjoy yourselves. I'm sick of getting champagne in my eyes.
Yeah. This is one of the biggest smiles I've seen on your face. Yeah. All season long, you had 21 wins this year. But to be doing this tonight with this team, how much are you enjoying it?
That's what I've said. Selfishly, this one means a lot more to me. I've been up here the whole year, so to be able to contribute from start to finish means a lot. We got a great group of guys. It's really fun. That's why I feel like I keep looking over my shoulder for Luke Jackson. Luke Jackson's throwing stuff at me. So, but yeah, this is awesome. It's just couldn't imagine with a better group of people.
What makes that tight-knit group work, you know, because it doesn't always. But this team, you always hear the it factor. Describe what that is in this room.
I think everyone is just, you get like that.
There you go.
People are authentic. They're themselves, which I think everyone appreciates. When people are real, they're authentic. So there's no one's fake, and I think that really says a lot about how just comfortable we are with one another. And it's just, there's not too many places like it, if I had to guess.
I know you could glow on the other 4 guys in the rotation, 5, you name it, every guy that was called up, Bryce Elder and Ian Anderson, Kyle Muller. But what can you say about the job your bullpen did for you guys, especially down the stretch here?
I just feel like the whole year, if we could get a lead, I felt the game was over. And it's not easy to do. It's not easy to come into the game and shut the game down from whatever inning on, especially in this league. There's just too many good teams, too many good players. So it says a lot about who they are as pitchers. They obviously have great stuff, but the mentality is just a little bit different. And they themselves are a close-knit group too, which I think is really important.
I know I'm getting in the nitty-gritty here, but 4 or 5 days now, how does that play into either an advantage, or for you, will you come in and throw a side on maybe a Saturday? How do you stay fresh at the same time?
I think it's definitely important. This time of year, no one really feels good, so any extra days you can get to kind of rest, recover, I think is huge. So for us, being able to clinch the division and get a couple extra days off, I think it's going to do us definitely more good than anything.
Kyle, enjoy that cigar, celebrate. We appreciate the time as always, and hopefully we're doing this a few more times.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Guys.
Spencer, a massive year for you, capped off by an unreal performance by this team. What does it say about this squad that they've been able to do what they did in this last week?
It's just, it's what we've been aware of this whole season. It's that, no matter how we started, no matter what ups and downs we experience, we know who we are, we know what we're capable of, and we all know our strengths. And the end of the season has always been where our eyes have been and where our minds have been. And so, when we got here, that was when it's time to turn it on, and that's what they did. And obviously I didn't get to be a part of it, but it was awesome to watch these guys finish it out the way they did. And looking forward to a good postseason opportunity here.
Well, I'm not going to hold you back anymore. You go and enjoy this, man.
All right, thank you.
So, William, how does it feel to be a division champ once again?
¿Cómo se siente ser un campeón de la división?
No, mira, increíble. Gracias, le doy a Dios por tener mi segunda campeonato de la división en 2 años. Mira, contento, de verdad. Gracias a todos, gracias a Dios, del equipo, de nosotros.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I thank God for the opportunity to be a part of a 2-time division champion team. Really happy to be here. Really happy for the work I was able to do, and just very grateful.
Does this one mean a little bit more given your contributions this season, playing nearly every other day?
Que si este campeonato significa más para ti, como pudiste contribuir más como un pelotero para esta serie.
No, sí, mira, como lo dijiste, me siento más en el equipo en este momento. Sé que pude ayudar mucho al equipo este año. Mira, gracias. Puedo decir que gracias a muchos esfuerzos que yo he tenido, estamos donde estamos, mira, nada, contento con los muchachos, contento con los compañeros de equipo y he estado súper feliz con ellos.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I was able to be more part of the team this year, and I'm very happy, really pleased with the teammates, really pleased with my, just all the guys on the squad, and just happy that I could be able to contribute, and glad I could able to keep going.
Franco's hanging hurt. Guys are throwing things. Franco's hanging in there with us, so guys. Describe the relationship with Travis and the year you two had together and the success that it was bringing this team.
Sí, contar un poquito de la amistad y de la relación que tú tienes con Travis y cómo pudieron ayudarse uno al otro y cómo pudieron los dos contribuir al equipo a la misma vez.
No, mira, es algo como que no se ve mucho, 2 catches en el mismo line todos los días. Es algo especial para nosotros. Supimos cómo ayudar al equipo, tuvimos buena comunicación afuera del terreno. Tremendo meeting tuvimos y mira, contento, de verdad.
Yeah, I think it's something kind of rare. You don't really normally see 2 catches in the lineup, but I think we had really good communication between one another. I think we had a really good relationship between one another. I think we were able to help each other one and out, and able to really kind of navigate the pitching staff and really help contribute to the team both ways.
Do you think this team is built for another deep run, and if so, why?
¿Tú crees que este equipo está construido para otra racha así de éxito?
Mira, el line te lo puedo decir, somos puros niños, somos puros jóvenes, 22 a 25 años como máximo. Contento de estar en este equipo, contento de estar en la radio de Atlanta. Mira, nunca me quisiera ir de aquí, feliz estoy, me siento bien, mira, con el equipo, con todo. Sé que vamos a tener muchos años de alegría.
Look, I think the lineup speaks for itself, and I think we got a lot of young guys here between the ages of 22 to 25, and for me personally, I want to be here for the rest of my career. I love being part of this organization, and I'm just really happy that we're at right now.
Go celebrate, William. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Oh, we just missed you. Thank you, Franco.
Jesse, you've come over here and you've been one of the rocks of this bullpen. Obviously, we know what happened in the middle of the year. You're back now. How does this feel?
It feels amazing. You always want to start, where you want to finish. You know what I mean? It didn't happen earlier in the year with the first team. Come here where, I thought I was going to be at the end of the year, and it worked out, so excited to be here.
What is it that makes you? You go out there, you don't have overpowering stuff. You work with what you got, and you have an ability to go out there and dominate.
It's comfortability with the catchers. Having Travis 10 years ago, understanding who I was at that time, I was the same guy now as I was then. I just threw a little bit harder. That was it. But having Travis and the camaraderie we had then, it was like, picked up from when we left off. And having Sal, and Cranny and Frenchie down there, I mean, it's amazing the fact that I'm an old school guy and they're old school approaches.
We had the experience of last year, obviously. How much is that going to help moving forward through the playoffs?
Oh, it's going to be huge. Being able to slow things down, understanding the element that we're in, and just being able to, understand each pitch and not put the name on the back or the elements in our head.
Go enjoy this, brother.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peter, Kelly, Chip, appreciate all of y'all hustling to get all of those sights and sounds from the celebration of the 5th straight divisional title for your Atlanta Braves. Trevor Scales, Nick Green, and Brian Jordan are back here with you in Atlanta. Fellas, look, the past couple of seasons are earmarked by like specific dates. You got August 5th of last year, where the Braves finally got over 500 and go on the run that they did. And this year, you're looking at June 1st, where they start a 14-game win streak and just casually capture the NL East after being 10.5 games back. It's picturesque at times how these Braves just continue to surprise.
I don't know how you continue to do that year after year, right? Now, 88 wins was not going to win the division this year. We knew that wasn't going to happen. Last year, nobody took over in the division, so the Braves continue to play good baseball at the right time. They end up winning the division. They end up winning the World Series. This year, it was more of a grind to get where they wanted to get as far as winning the division. And sometimes it takes certain points in the year where it turns around. You have certain guys that are called up. Spencer Strider, Michael Harris, those guys have made huge impacts on this club. It takes some guts by Alex Anthopoulos to make those decisions as well. So credit to everybody involved. And I love the fact that the coaching staff is getting a lot of credit too. You have to hold the fort down if you are the coaching staff, BJ, to be able to navigate through those tough times, keep the guys on board, keep them excited about where they want to go, and keep that focus right down the middle. These guys did a tremendous job of staying focused from June 1st on.
Yeah, Brian Snitker has a great coaching staff. There's no doubt about it, and you're right. I mean, through the struggles earlier this season, the coaching staff did not waver away. They just continued to grind and work these guys every single day. And with the slow start, I mean, it started in the offseason. You don't bring Freddie back, so there's a lot of question marks. And, you know, guys are putting pressure on themselves at the beginning of the season, trying to make a big impact. And we didn't have an identity in that first month and a half, to be honest. And all of a sudden, you bring this young Michael Harris II up, and all of a sudden, you start finding your identity. Guys started performing. Things started coming together because the coaching staff didn't waver. They stayed with the guys. They worked really hard. And to me, this is the more special than last year, the way you're 10.5 games back, nobody panicked, and you continued to grind and work your way back to the top of the division at the right time of the season. I don't care if it's game 161. You win the division, and nobody gave you a chance to win the division.
Doug, it's the definition of championship medal. And after every big win, as excited as I get here on the post-game show, it didn't matter for Snit, right? He was right here. And that's with big wins or big losses. That, to your point, Nick, it means everything in keeping a ball club on the right track to get to this point by the time you hit game 162.
You know, you look at, obviously, the coaching staff did a great job, right? But how did these players get through the tough times? And you look at a Dansby Swanson. He started out awful the first 2 weeks of the season. He turned his season around. We talked about him possibly being an MVP candidate there for a minute. Yes, he's tailed off, but he came up with some big at-bats late in the season. Tremendous job by him. Defense has been off the charts, played every single day. Austin Riley, same kind of thing. Just a big deal for all of these guys to really come together. And I go up and down this roster, right? And I look at the big moments. You mentioned the June 1st is the turnaround for the Braves. Look at Chadwick Tromp, BJ. He came in and played one game, and he went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. That game became huge. It was a win over the Marlins. You look at Travis DeMeritt. He came up in some big spots and had some big catches in the outfield, had some big hits. It takes everybody involved. And one of my favorite that gets kind of just under the radar success, Strider, Harris, those guys have been great. Dylan Lee, great, right? Yeah. But how about William Contreras and what he did to turn this team around, give Snit options, DH, catcher, give d'Arnaud some days off. And the production he got out of that catcher role between him and d'Arnaud, fantastic.
Don't forget about my man Jackson Stevens.
He did a great job.
Roll Tide, as he said.
Right on the sign.
Man, he came up huge, though, when you needed that length. You know, and when the starter didn't do well, Jackson came in and really picked this bullpen up, man. So, man, you can pick out a bunch of guys. And we always said it all year long, 1 through 9 in this order. It didn't matter. We performed, and guys produced throughout the lineup, picked each other up. And, man, to me, that's another world championship.
A textbook example of Jackson Stevens. A couple weeks ago, he comes in and carries you through an extra innings game that really did wind up being all so crucial out there in Philly. There are countless examples that we could cite for the success for this Braves team, but we might as well put a bow on at least the celebration portion of this with the man that lends his voice to this team all 160 games this season thus far. That is the one and only Chip Caray.
Okay, Trevor, thank you very much. Great job in the studio. Great job downstairs here at Lone Depot Park as we wrap up this most improbable of seasons for the Braves, who, as you guys have said, and rightfully so, they were 10.5 games out of first place. Then they went on this unbelievably relentless finish, going 78-33, winning the division in the next to last game of the season. So exciting. So many great young players. Kyle Wright, 21 wins. Harris, Strider, Matt Olson coming home, Dansby Swanson. And how rewarding is this for Ronald Acuna Jr., who could not participate last year? He catches the final out to seal the deal for Atlanta. A most rewarding 2-1 win in Miami for the 5th consecutive division title for Brian Snitker, his staff, and the Atlanta Braves organization. Kenley Jansen puts a bow on Game 161. The Braves are headed to the National League Division Series. They will open play at Truist Park on Tuesday against either the Philadelphia Phillies or the St. Louis Cardinals as the celebration continues here at Lone Depot Park in Miami. That is a picture none of us will ever forget. Perhaps the most satisfying division championship in recent memory for the Atlanta Braves, who somehow, some way, came all the way back to stun the New York Mets on the next to last day of the championship season. So the Braves have one more game to be played. That's here tomorrow, and then we'll focus our attention on postseason as the Braves try to become the first team to go back-to-back in World Series victories in over 22 years. We wrap up the 2022 season with our plays of the years as we thank you for joining us in Miami tonight. Him out. Kenley Jansen comes home to Los Angeles, and another strikeout. That's a new career high for Kyle Wright. Dansby 360 through the first. Great play. Swing and a drive. He's going to get them all home. It's going to be a grand slam. Have a night, triple style. Lead off homer for Acuna.
Fifth career grand slam for Ozzy Albies.
Smoked, and a diving catch it short. There's the first big league home run from Michael Harris.
Let's go.
A two-homer day for Dansby Swanson. Field, Harris on the run, lays out and makes a great catch. And he rifles that ball deep left center field. Long gone. Austin Riley has hit another home run. He is hotter than the Georgia asphalt. The Braves have won 14 straight games. Wall leaping tie. He got it. What a grab by Ronald at the wall. Swing, high fly ball, deep left field. Vaughn Grissom has homered over the monster. Harris going back, warning track wall, leaping tie. He got it. Majestic homer on top of the chop house. Swing and a miss. And Charlie Morton has a dozen strikeouts. On the ground, that's going to sneak into center field. Here comes the throw toward the plate. Save! Bouncing ball right side, and Travis d'Arnaud comes off the bench for a comeback Braves win against the Astros. Sweet 16 for Spencer Strider and a new Atlanta record. Swing and a miss. 9 up, 9 down for Max Fried. He's off to a great start.
Snagged out of the air by Dansby. And that ends the ball game.
Ronald coming on, dives, and he got it.
Wow, doing it all, kid.
Fly ball well hit left field. The Braves are back in front. Shift, long run Dansby, slowing, leaning, and he's got it. What a play by Swanson. History tonight for Bryce Elder. Pitching the first complete game this year for the Braves. Dansby Swanson, third. third straight game against the Mets with a homer.
Going back, Acuna is there. He's got it! And the Braves have swept the Mets. You come at the Kings, you better not miss.
In the air right. Ronald is there, and